my chain with some Porsche, switch it up, little nigga. Switch it up, was rocking European, but I had to switch it up. Now I make my own drip, your bitch lick it up. Now I'm on my own dick, I had to switch it up, little nigga. Switch it up, add it up, stack it up, rack it up, back it up, that's enough. Switch it up, got a new spot, this one too hot. Took a few shots, like I'm Tupac. She a old head, say she new pop. Jamie old head, say I'm a new pop. All around the world, it's the same song. Never seen your girl with her pants on. Never seen a vibe that I ain't on. Said I'm a star, put my name on. Broke last year, but I had to switch it up. $1 million later, now they mad I switch it up. She wasn't tryna fuck, now she tryna give it up. Flooded out my chain with some Porsche, switch it up, little nigga. Switch it up, was rocking European, but I had to switch it up. Now I make my own drip, your bitch lick it up. Now I'm on my own dick, I had to switch it up. Shit is crazy, I'm so wavy, that's why they hate me. But they can stop me, they can copy me. I'm an anomaly, switching up the whip, flipping up the script. Never giving up, always getting up. Had to make a promise, we gon' live it up. Best to ever do it, they gon' mention us. I ain't tryna chill, cause we ain't rich enough. Say she had the weed, so we lit it up. Always smoke her out, so we switched it up. Went to natural from the weed, had to switch it up. She the only one I need, had to switch it up. Broke last year, but I had to switch it up. $1 million later, now they mad I switch it up. She wasn't tryna fuck, now she tryna give it up. Flooded on my chain with some Porsche, switch it up, little nigga. Switch it up, was rocking European, but I had to switch it up. Now I'm in my own drip, your bitch lick it up. Now I'm on my own dick, I had to switch it up. It's ironic how shit switches and you bouncing on this dick like hydraulics. I'm astonished how you move. I done seen them all, but ain't none cold as you. Your personality strange, you so unusual. You excite me and enlighten me at the same time. I'm just so grateful for this moment in time. This moment vibing, or we chilling. You my doctor, I need healing. Let's get high as the ceiling.
I keep planets in orbit, I keep energy building. I keep making all types of medicine. I keep planets in orbit, I keep energy building. Planets in, I keep making all types of medicine. I keep planets in orbit, I keep energy building. I keep making all types of medicine. I keep planets in orbit, I keep energy building. Planets in, I keep.
Never trusted these niggas in any form of fashion. Steady forming passion. My style's a chemical reaction. Law of attraction, the hot shit. Don't worry, I got it. The vision's refracted with the chrome to his bone and retracted. Turn his gold to a stadium. Make a hole where it used to be a cranium. My style don't got a stain on it, my steel stainless. Pinpoint accuracy, leave your brainless. My style be the tamest. She wanna fuck cause I'm famous for doing crimes that's heinous. I got an ill reputation. Even radio wouldn't play us if they knew it was good for them. Deliver the goods for them. Run over the game like Suge knew 'em. Nobody told you to get in my way. Move, bitch, like what Ludacris say. I'm on I-20 for money. Hitting the road with hoes, getting paid. That's just how the day goes. Flight to San Diego. Red bone named Carmen. Found that hoe. It was a hell of a bargain. Vominos just landed in NY. Got a plug for the socks. Charge triple. Up in my watch. Double tying my knots. You niggas too loose. Can't get tied to toucan, but who can flip these loops like I can? Nah, I'm saying, shit, word is mine, saying. It's all about the cream, man.
Taking all types of medicine. I keep planets in orbit. I keep energy building. I keep taking all types of medicine. I keep planets in orbit. I keep energy building. Planets in. I keep taking all types of medicine. I keep planets in orbit. I keep energy building. I keep taking all types of medicine. I keep planets in orbit. I keep energy building. Planets in. I keep. He was on a man, but I called
play to win. Now you tryna play me in. Now you tryna play me in.
But if you do, then you know what's up.
I know what's up. What's that supposed to mean? I know what's up.
You know what's up.
No, I don't know unless you tell me. You look like a mind reader to you? Do you see some big turban on my head?
Rich, don't even try to play that off.
Peace to the family. Give me a quick little Seiki Reiki. Little quick Seiki Reiki. Boom. You know, I should have checked this beforehand and I didn't. I just assumed. And every time you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. There I go. There go my mug. Let me get my eye together. I gotta see y'all. I gotta see y'all and y'all gotta see me. You feel me? Goodness gracious. Oh my. Let's get into this conversation. Why don't we? The day is finally upon us, or the evening is finally upon us. We're about to get into some spiritual miracle. This is lecture 10. I'm going to be looking at the chat back and forth, so feedback is appreciated. Just because I don't never know if y'all can hear me when I do presentations like this. Just for my sanity, give me some thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, if I sound crazy, if I sound drunk, if I sound high, so what? Now we can do about that now, can we? Yeah, so peace to everybody. I decided I'm going to upload this on YouTube and Facebook, and I'm going to delete them off both platforms once I get done. But for shits and giggles, I just uploaded it just in case you might tune in and tap in. You won't be able to see this again. So the best way that I can say that you can utilize this information is to use a pen and a pad so you can understand the shit that's right in front of your face. Another thing, spiritual people won't tell you about this. And another thing, let me get this ticker out the way because looking at it is irritating me. And another thing, how your mama and your daddy doing? Your grandma, your grandpa, cousins, aunts, uncles, your godmom, because your godmom, she really stepped in, helped you out when your mama lost her job. Godmom gave you a couple air mattresses. So shout out to your godmom and your goddad whenever he do show up. Yeah, man. I feel great, man. Just in case you was asking, just in case you was wondering, man, I mean, shit. Just in case if you cared, right? I feel awesome. And with me feeling awesome, it is my sincere desire, right? It's a deep sexual desire of mine that you be as fucking happy as I am, because I done been through a lot of shit. And honestly, keeping it a $1,000 with you, I do not even deserve all of this bliss that I've experienced in reference to just being myself, in reference to being in my just own law of attraction. I don't do these videos. I don't create these online platforms specifically for money to get specifically rich or no shit like that. I do this shit because I'm going to tell you why I do this shit. I do this shit so people will remember me long after I'm gone. I feel real bad for the people who lived, died, and never created, right? How do you remember those people? How do you hold their energy? And so in reference to my channels and my deep contact with the ancestral realm, it's from people who created and people who have had strong ties to the world that they were actually living in. They weren't like this big hermit type energy that just lived in their room and, you know, created the world's greatest thought or no shit like that. It's people who show that spirituality is real through the things that they were able to do in the time and realm for which we live in. All of that being said, I'm teaching, but I'm also going to be frank. Hopefully you'll be Alice, right? In that is some spiritual shit that I absolutely have to relay to the family. And when you talk about spiritual things, you could read about it. You could watch movies online or in the theaters about it. You know, you could do all of the fantastical shit in reference to spirituality. But all of those things are really like entertainment and figments of your imagination. So as much as people talk about spirituality, people talk about Tonka trucks, people talk about Hot Wheels, people talk about all sorts of shit online. Don't really actually matter when you like pull out the grand scheme of things. So I always be weary of spiritual conversations in reference to spiritual education. To have a spiritual conversation is just like anybody can take part of it. Spiritual education is the transmutation of your everyday occurrences and turning it into a spiritual existence, which will manifest into creating things in the 3D realm, inventing things, creating more things. Literally, you have access to the infinite, right? And I want to share this with y'all. I want y'all to have access to the infinite and do all of the amazing things that you absolutely can do. So the root of this conversation, no pun intended, started not last week, but last lecture. Lecture 9, we discussed Saturn and the root chakra. Long story short, that is the first chakra that a person needs to connect to activate their powers. Now, the second chakra, the Mars chakra, is where you begin to see things, where you begin to experience the spiritual realm. The reason that it's very important that you take notes and understand the conversation for which I'm about to present is that most people never experience the sight of the spiritual realm because they're inundated with sexual desire. But I need participation because it's late at night. Y'all could be falling asleep at the end of the day. So I'm going to ask you, is it or is it not a thought-provoking question? 1, if it's thought-provoking. 2, if it's just a stupid-ass question. What is beyond sexual desire? Like, what if that is not your goal? What if you go through it and what would you see beyond sexual desire? Is that a thought-provoking question? 1, it is. 2, is not. Because if that's a thought-provoking question, this will be a gratifying lie for you. But if that question is a stupid-ass question and sexual desire is all there is to life, then you might as well not even waste your time. So I'm going to give y'all a second to answer that. And check to see if my levels is together and things of that nature. Okay, my levels is together. Y'all feel as though that is a thought-provoking question? I think that is a thought-provoking question. Everything that I will discuss in this live is far and beyond sexual desire. At the end of the day, if you just want to get your rocks off, if you just want to have a sexual experience with somebody, you're not going to get it. It's like I'm talking astrophysics to a wino on the corner. It just won't compute in your brain. Because sex is powerful, but it is not the end-all be-all. And it's different from abstaining from sex. It's different from abstaining from sex. See, when you abstain from sex, you're not learning from sex. To go through sex, you gotta be able to hold space in the realm of sexual desire and move through it. To balance your sacral chakra out, you need a partner. It's non-negotiable. It's not something that you can get out of. You absolutely need a partner. Okay? And speaking of absolutely needing, we're going to segue into the lecture because I feel like we wasted enough time or build it up enough crescendo to push us into this actual presentation. Welcome, everybody. Speaking of needs, Chakra Nova available at Columbian Exchange. Because the basis of my conversation is based upon my actual work that I've put in reference to spiritual education. You see that name right there? Let's zoom in to the actual name of the actual book. That's my actual name. I'm only showing you that because most spiritual people is too busy talking to you, too busy beating your ears up to actually put in some actual work. So a necessity to understanding and grasping this conversation is Chakra Nova, buying the book, having the book in your library, going through the book. If you're going to do a chakra a week, do a chakra a week. If you're going to do a chakra a month, do a chakra a month. But you got to do that shit. You will reap the benefits. Once you activate your chakras, we go right into the school of sexual science. What happens? You have sex first, and then you try to figure it out. You're fucked up. You fucked up. You jumped the gun. If we are racing, you got to wait till the gun go off before you start running. Generally, when we have sex without understanding the power of sex, there's no way we can understand it because the horse has officially got behind the cart. You have put in the cart. The cart is the sexual energy. It's the cart. The horse is the reason why you having sex. Quite naturally, people have sex because it's pleasurable. But that is a limitation on the actual cart. Because the cart could actually be pulled to different dimensions in different places. The actual modality of sex all ruins it. Is to consummate it. Consummate means to consume, means to finish. It's over with. So, meaning that we should have been able to talk through each and every chakra and unite at an educational mental level. So don't just buy the book for yourself, buy the book for your partner. Because what has bonded me and my wife is that we've created the book through our life, through understanding and communicating each and every chakra on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis. We go over our chakras as a couple. It's not up for debate. We're talking about communication today. We're talking about going beyond sexual desires, because once you get beyond sexual desires, the whole spiritual realm opens up for you. Ashe? So Chakra Nova, absolutely necessity to fully grasp the conversation that we'll be having. We got two necessities, Chakra Nova and Astrology Explained. Even though I'm in the midst of coming up with my sidereal astrology version, it's not an astrology book. It's going to be an astrology book, but it's not an astrology book. It's a spiritual book. I've been fighting whether I should do pre-sales, even though I'm not done with it, but I really need to copyright and trademark the name. Y'all know how I am with names. Spirit, give me them names. And I got to kind of run with it. I'm going to release the book on my birthday. I think I should do pre-sales. When if I should do pre-orders or two, I should just wait till I'm done with the book. Because I ain't capping to y'all. I'm not done with the book, but I feel like I should do pre-orders. I don't know. I know I'm releasing it for my birthday, and I want to reveal the title, but I can't reveal the title if I'm not doing no pre-orders. Once I do the pre-orders, you get the title, we locked in. But I'm feeling like moving into pre-orders, which I got to get this conversation out before I do anything. You feel me? So let's get to what we actually doing, right? We talking about Chakra Nova, Astrology Explained, and we're combining these two concepts tonight. Vital understanding. And so I summarize each book of Chakra Nova and Astrology Explained somewhat in a small, concise, magazine-like structure to help you kind of understand these concepts in like a easy, like it's not deep at all, right? It's $10. It's like a magazine, probably like 40 pages, give or take. Nothing too crazy, just to get you familiar with the ideas. And if you feel like you need a primer, get this. If you feel like I don't need no primer, I'm ready for me and my girlfriend and do this fucking chakra work, because this is the girl that I want to be with for the rest of my life. And if y'all gonna be together for the rest of y'all life, y'all not gonna be cute forever. Y'all gonna be old, wrinkly, shriveled, and diveled. And the only thing that's gonna make y'all relationship pop is your ability to communicate. So if you're not able to communicate, you don't have an actual purpose to communicate until you start aligning your communication with your chakras. Because the word is God. Okay? The word is God. So when you align your conversation up with the fact that you are rooting, with the fact that you are bonding, right? This is a bond. We're doing this because this is a bonding exercise, right? Or is y'all just fucking when y'all get horny? It's a major difference. And the large majority of people just kind of want to fuck and figure it out, right? If you don't want to live your life like that, if you don't want to just kind of, if you want to master life, you want to master your energy, then you can choose any woman, any man, and say, I'm going to communicate with you long term, right? Because this is going to be our bread and butter long term. My pussy might fall off. My dick might get chopped off as I'm standing waiting for the train. And the train, I might be thinking about you, baby. And the train just might come. You know, I got a 14-incher. So once the train come, whoop, it's going to take it all off. Is you still going to love me, right? You got to be able to say yes, because I don't love you for your 14 inches. I love you because you are the divine masculine that I've been waiting my whole life for. Speaking of divine masculine, let's talk about Mars. I told you I'm segueing the fuck out of this, baby. You better be prepared. We going boom, boom, bop, bop. So have your pen and paper ready, because we're about to bring it into the conversation. So this is the official beginning of the lecture. I just had to give you some source code energy. Chakra Nova, Astrology Explained. Don't just buy Chakra Nova and don't read it. Defeating the purpose of buying a book. I know y'all like to buy books and have them collect dust. Please do not do this with this book. It got a spirit attached to it. It wants you to open it and read it and understand it. Everything got a spirit attached to it. If you don't understand that everything got a spirit attached to it, then you too blocked in your own sexual desire. All right. Mars and the Sacral Chakra. I get some ones if y'all feeling good about this conversation, or twos if y'all feeling horrible about this conversation and it's scaring y'all to death. Ones if y'all feeling good. How's my energy? Is my energy keep it like, I like to, I need some feedback. It's late. Y'all get tired, y'all fall asleep, y'all start daydreaming and all, not even daydreaming, night dreaming, right? And we don't need that. We need y'all to be present, engaged, pen and paper, drink some goddamn tea, some green tea, walk around a little bit. You feel me? Get your blood going a little bit. Do the cabbage patch. All right. So Mars, first thing. So this is the basis of our conversation. Big brother Mars. Okay? The god of war, aggression, masculine, right? But I need y'all to understand, Mars is masculine and feminine. Mars masculine, hot and dry. God is good, God is great. I didn't say God, I said goddess. Y'all ain't hear that. God is good, God is great. That's G-O-D-D-E-S-S, great. And that's G-O-D-D-E-S-S, good. So Mars has a masculine and feminine. Since goddess is great, since goddess is good, you can't just have hot and dry. You gotta have cold and wet, quite naturally. So how do we understand that energetically? Mars rules the constellation of Aries, but Mars also rules the constellation of Scorpio. So Mars rules the head. Mars also rules the lower body. Okay? With all of this being said, this is life for most people. If you ask people the real questions of why in the fuck you doing what you're doing, 9 times out of 10, they be like, well, my mama and my daddy, they did it, so I do it. But why is your mama and your daddy doing it? 9 times out of 10, people would tell you, my mama and my daddy do it, so I do it. So when you enter the spiritual journey from activating your root chakra, the first thing that comes up is, why the fuck am I doing what I am doing? The second thing that come up is that I am magnetic and prosperous. So I don't have to do the thing that I don't actually want to do. Now, if you are isolated, you have to get a fucking job. Ain't nothing you can do about it, because you got to support yourself. You got to pay the rent. Now, leverage your talent, skills, and abilities that you would utilize for that company, and then get another person like you, a friend, lover, homie, and they leverage their talent, skills, abilities for which they doing at their job, and y'all create a business. Now y'all don't gotta work. Y'all understand up. Y'all do the research. All right, girl. All right, bro. This week we gonna do business credit. We're gonna set up our business credit. We're gonna sell up our LLC. We're gonna sell up our corporation. We're gonna figure out how to make money. We're gonna make money. We're gonna make money every day. We're gonna start a business. You do that from a level of getting outside of the family structure. You do that from a level of doing it outside of the box, right? And a larger point of this conversation is, you don't have to be spiritual to be spiritual. You don't have to be spiritual to put your ego to the side and work with your bros to start a business, but you are doing some spiritual shit. So athletes are literal deities, literal gods, literal Mars personifications. But they are not stupid. They're not dumb. They probably smarter than most people. And like, you ever seen like a professional sport playbook? It's too much shit to, just thinking about it gives me anxiety, right? But an athlete got to know all them fucking plays. And if you don't know all them plays, you fucking up $1 million check. You feel me? And you know, you gotta fucking balance your fucking checkbook for your fucking job. You got pressure, you'll lose that fucking, you ain't trying to lose that $50,000 a year job. So imagine the pressure of having a fucking $5 million a year job. You gotta go through some shit. So in understanding the full expression of Mars is so fucking smart that it happens without flash. It's like athletes, they'll study a play over and over and over and over again, but you never see Steph Curry in the middle of the play like, hold on, let me see the playbook real quick because I don't know that play, hold up. It's like a muscle memory. But it's a form of intelligence because he had to study. Like at some point, he had to study it and get walked through it. And then he practiced it. Then it just comes a normal thing. And then he performs it. Now, it's probably 1 in every 10 billion motherfuckers that you just gave a basketball to and they was the greatest person ever. It probably haven't been no basketball player like that. Like, it's called being coached up. So what am I saying? Even though you're a world-class athlete, throw you a basketball in your hand, you probably suck ass. You need that coaching. So if you can think in reference to athletes, and you're not an athlete, you're just a regular person. So how does that relate to you? What are you being coached up in? Like what is your shit that you are communicating every single day about with your partner, with your lover, friend, social circle, because you are in fact spiritual, because you have connected to source through activating your root chakra. And you know that, oh shit, I cannot sit alone. In order to balance my sacral chakra, I literally have to have a team to go to war. And we have to win. We can't just get together, you know, with your friends and you're like, let's just hang out. That is not Mars. That is not spiritual. When it comes to a battle, y'all gonna get washed, right? Ain't nothing y'all can do. So setting the table for Mars as we get further into this conversation, one of the things I want to point out, hot and dry, but also cold and wet. They're not going to tell you that. Mars is masculine and feminine. They're not going to tell you that. And also, Mars rules Scorpio in the sexual organs. They will tell you that, and that's what we need to talk about. So even further, taken from the Chakra Astrology Handbook, Mars is the planet of action. Action represents anything mental that we put into motion. So at first, it's mental cognition. The mind is all. There are two minds that we possess. We possess the mind that is not connected to source through activating our root chakra, and the mind that we possess when we connect to source through activating our root chakra. So the mind before activating our root chakra is pretty much rooted in sex, in securing a sexual partner daily, yearly, or for a lifetime, right? That's either vibe, or you replace that sexual energy through a career, an animal, a fucking painting thing, a fucking television show. But essentially, we have a mind that we do alchemy with every single day. Now, the question is, are you dealing with your animal mind or you're dealing with your divine mind? And there is no confusion about it. There is no back and forth about it. Can you be flying and walking at the same time? Can you walk backwards and forwards at the same time? Can you walk to the left and at the right at the same time? Absolutely not. You either have a divine mind, which you are connecting to your higher self, which reveals itself through nature. You are nature. If you ever wanted to understand yourself, the same laws of nature in the universe apply to you. So this is a mindset. This is a mental state. If you have this mental state and you transmute it, then everything you do is good. That's a spiritual concept. I'm going to tell you it's not a spiritual concept. I'm not going to talk to guys because these guys ain't shit. You just haven't activated your root chakra because your root chakra can transmute any and every situation. I am not a client. I am the president of that shit. Okay? I use my mind to change my fucking reality. My wife's reality, my children's reality, people that I don't even fucking know reality with my mind, because my mind is the same mind that God has. It is proven to me over and over and over again. 5 years ago, I was fucking buying Black and Milds with filter tips. 5 years later, I'm a fucking published author. Next Wednesday, I'm going to be on a fucking syndication with a man that been on Oprah's show 3 times. I used to joke about Oprah on my fucking daily energy readings with my mind. I'm literally 1 degree away from Oprah Winfrey. You think this shit is a game? You think that the shit that you say out of your mouth don't manifest exactly as you say it? If you have an animal mind, you can say whatever the fuck you want to say. When you have a divine mind, you better fucking be careful. Everything you say manifests. Because if you read in the Bible and you open up chapter John, the first goddamn chapter and the first goddamn verse, it say the word is God. How do that apply to everybody but you? Makes no sense. It literally exists within you. But see, if God is the word and you have to, your word is a result of your mental state, of what you're thinking. When they say Mars is the planet of action and Mars rules your sexual organs, are they talking about sex or are they talking about communication? Anything mental that we put into motion, the first thing is our words. When we transfer potential energy into kinetic energy, we are functioning in our Mars principle. When we perform an action, task, or feat, and I want you to pay attention to this, in public or private, this is our Mars energy. In private is key. It's clutch. I'm going to tell you, we have normalized cool, calm demeanor in public. And like, you ever heard that shit? Lady in the streets, freak in the sheets. That's serving 2 masters. That's being double-sided. You're not authentic. And are you a lady in the streets or are you a freak in the sheets? You want to be both. It's easier to just be one thing, right? It's easier to say I'm going up. It's easier to say I'm going left. You know how difficult your life becomes when you say I'm going left and right? You literally fuck up your whole life by having too many options, by having too many choices. It'll be easier if you just say that you're a freak in the streets and a freak in the sheets. It'll be easier if you're a lady in the streets and a lady in the sheets. That way you never have to change. You never have to put on a mask. You never have to figure out what lie you're keeping up with. In the relationship, what story are you telling and dating this man and that woman and this woman? You go on a date with a person, you put on your makeup, you put on your hair, you get your hair cut, you put on an outfit, and this ain't even your normal energy. Forgive me if it is your normal energy, but for the most part, we be trying to give our best impression. but we fall short because we are outside of our Mars energy. Your first impression, we've been building ourselves up to this conversation and we haven't got there yet, but we will get there one day. What am I talking about? Staying ready so you never have to get ready. Oh, that's a whole worldwide movement that motherfuckers need to catch up to. I shouldn't have to come knock on your door and tell you to get ready. You should have stayed ready. The sun rose today, my nigga, my niggers. Best foot forward. Carpe diem, right? Stop being one way and another way and trying to figure out your Mars energy. Because when you stay set in who you are, the world has to fold. Because the word is God. The word, if not fully in tune with exactly what you are you a up, down, left, or right? You can't be a left and right. Can't be a up and down. You never seen it. It's impossible to do. You've never seen a person go left and right at the same time. You either go left, you go right, you go up, you go down, you go angel, you go demon. Do you speak life? Do you speak death? Do you speak frustration? Do you speak fear? Everything that you speak, however, is a result of your mental state. I'm trying to present the spiritual to make your life simple, but I'm also trying to educate you. So part of education is I didn't know that, and now I'm learning that. It's hard to do that when you know everything. And this is always the overall block that you have with spiritual people. They know everything about Nibiru and decoding every fucking movie and book and ritual, but get them in front of a fine woman and they don't know how to fucking handle themselves. So to understand your sacral chakra, so I got to sidetrack, but then I got to get back on track. Beautiful women don't get talked to like women who are not beautiful. And it's not what you think. Beautiful women emasculate men off their energy. Men are never going to tell you this because Mars, hot and dry, cold and wet. Mars for men, Mars for women, okay? On the planet Mars, it was men and women. They were all Martians. So Mars is not masculine. Mars is whoever want to speak the God force energy unto himself or herself. If you want to call yourself a punk ass bitch, be thou art. Okay? So beautiful girls get confused. Right? It's like, damn. Because you gotta kind of have an energy within the relationship that say, I'm the man. And I don't know why. You gotta either be confident or you gotta be beyond sex or something, you know? Because that's some real shit. So when the man talks to you the way he's supposed to talk to you, he wants you to be like, okay, daddy, then all right, shit, nigga, what we doing then? Right? When you beautiful, you be like, nigga, huh? What the fuck you talking to? Ain't nobody about to get in your fucking, what kind of year car is that, nigga? My car note is $1,500. Do you got that? No, you ain't fucking with me. Right? You emasculate them off the rip, right? And I know, not you, exception to the rule. Angel, Holy Mother, art thou, right? We're talking basic generalizations. If you can get with it, you can get with it. If you can't, you can't, right? So, what can be done about this? Absolutely nothing. Confidence is confidence. Emasculation is emasculation. You're either going to be conscious of it or you're not going to be conscious of it. Like, if I'm dealing with somebody and I'm making them feel uncomfortable, I'll check myself up until the point that I can't check myself no more. Then I'm just not fucking with you. But I feel like we can begin to start to understand the dynamics of what can bring out the best of my partner And I'm telling you, it's not by expecting shit because you fine. That time of life is over. Now, if you're a spiritual person, you shouldn't even be looking at people's looks in the first place. You fucking spiritual. Spiritual is unseen. It's energetic. Right? You should be beyond that. But if you not spiritual and watching people talk about spirituality, this is why I say you can fucking know everything about spirituality. If you can't stand in the fire with a woman that is sexually sexually attracted to, beyond sexually attracted, like you want her, like you like, damn, this is the one for me, and y'all don't have sex and y'all communicate, then you will understand how balanced or imbalanced your sacral chakra is. It's hard to find that person. First of all, you can't just find somebody that you just madly in love with. Love is an energy. It's a god. Most people, you just fuck. At the end of the day, you just get your goddamn rocks off. No love, no communication. However, and I'm not talking about situations where it's like we're colleagues, we're buddies, and we work together and shit. Y'all can work together, but if the conversation and communication not honest, that's not spiritual either. So the sacral chakra is one of action and sexual energy. So words and sexual energy. Action is not action. Action in the beginning was the word. After you activate your root chakra, you then begin to speak. So the sacral chakra is one of action and sexual energy. When combined with spiritual ethics, sexual energy becomes creative energy. 99% of people don't get there because they're only interested in what's going to happen when we have sex. And the deeper thing is, it's so deep that, like, you might not even know that that's your intention. You might actually think like, hey, we're friends, we're buddies. And then she does something and now you're like, I think I'm in love with you, right? Like it just comes over you like, I thought it was your friend, but now I'm in love. But if you say, all right, you're in love, let's communicate, let's build, let's talk, let's grow. That right there is the birth of creative energy. Creativity, God is a creator God, activating your creator God energy within yourself. When the sexual energy is apparent and you're not acting on it and you're having a conversation about it. Mars, being the planet of action and assertion, relates to our sacral chakra. The tower is the car of Mars, which represents creative energy that, when not in balance, can be very destructive. Mars in the sacral chakra can be alchemized by acting off positive emotions, love, and bliss, while also doing the work to find those positive feelings consistently. The sacral chakra, or I'm not going to try to pronounce it, Svadhisthana. Sanskrit was like my fifth language. Anyways, the sacral chakra is the second of the 7 primary chakras in Hindu tantric thought. It translates to one's base, describing the experiences of the first 7 years of life that have created an individual's emotional base. When this chakra is balanced, synchronicity comes easily and you magnetize based on your level of emotional expectation while living in perpetual bliss. Now, emotional expectations are easy if you can have a conversation about it. They get real convoluted and real fuzzy when you just expect things from people that you didn't have a conversation about, which seems kind of obvious to me. But if you've ever dated or been out in these streets, you would notice that people have a level of emotional expectation. They want to experience this bliss. They want to experience this connectedness, but they do not know how to communicate. Because through the communication, you build that magnetization. But it has to be an emotional, intelligent component within you to have a level of relatability. And your partner has to have that same ability, because y'all are exchanging truths back and forth. And y'all both have to trust one another to say, this truth is not going to scare you. This truth is not going to move you away. Now give me your truth. All right, take my truth. And you exchange these truths back and forth. If you've been taught this, your relationship is awesome. If you haven't been taught this in the first 7 years of life, where a person has been intentional about the facts of you being an adult, being in a relationship, your relationship being a serious aspect to your life, then you're kind of just fumbling through this shit. Just rolling through this bitch like a bowling ball, right? And just grasping on the spiritual people, saying spiritual shit. And all at the same time, you have these energies going on within you that you may or may not see, because the sexual energy is so thick that you can't even talk about it, which is the greatest irony. That's why the sacral chakra is energy that is hidden in plain sight. This is why the demonic influence and the spiritual influence that exists within and around the sacral chakra is hidden in plain sight, meaning that once you begin to just simply open your eyes by grounding and connecting through the root chakra, and do it sincerely, like really activate your root chakra without no fame or fortune, do it for yourself, the result is the ability to emotionally perceive the spiritual world that is right now present in everything that we experience. It's present within our relationships mainly. So these why we talk, because the reality of it is, if, say for instance, you love somebody and you really want to be with them, 10 times out of 10, there is some spiritual entity or energy that is attached to them at this sacral chakra. And if you don't have the conversation from a divine masculine or a divine feminine perspective, and you just have sex with them, then in fact, you are associating with that demonic entity that has attached to the sacral chakra. Now, if you don't see the energy or the entity attached to the sacral, it's just because you haven't awakened your Kundalini energy. Because your Kundalini energy isn't just a simple catchphrase. It actually has psychic abilities attached to it if you are serious about activating it through root locks and things of that nature, which should be a daily part of your regimen to keep your Kundalini gland rotating, activating, and consciously grounding to the root energy. So as you have conversations, because the word is God, the demons or the demonic entities that rest in the sacral chakra, they don't like that, right? So when you're talking to a guy and you're talking to a woman and you're like, well, we're going to be talking. I like you. I want to communicate with you, right? And we're going to be talking, and it sounds good, but either the man or the woman, they get real antsy. They like, yeah, we talking and all of this, but I need to fuck, right? I need to have sex, right? And you're like, you know, then you might feel that pressure and you're like, all right, but that's not actually them saying that. That's the possession or the entity that is not a part of them, but it is a part of them, so much so that they begin to identify it. So instead of saying this entity wants to feed off of your energy, the man or the woman will say, I'm horny, or what you doing tonight? And if you're not activating your consciousness, then you're not able to perceive the entity calling out to you. You just think a guy likes you. You just think a woman likes you, right? But at the same time, sexual intercourse with people, after that, you will experience and do things that you normally wouldn't experience and do. Why is that? The answer is because this is where demonic possession exists. They call them STDs, sexual transmitted disease, but in the spiritual community, we know them as spiritually transmitted disease. So in reference to Mars and the sacral chakra, it might seem abstract, and it might seem like some real like cosmic type shit. But at the end of the day, man, it's really like simple. So if we're going to look at this from a Kabbalistic point of view, you can see that your sacral chakra would be in your sexual organ area, but then you will also see Yesod in your sexual organ area. And what does it say? It says bonding. You can't bond with yourself. You can't bond by yourself. I don't care how good Brandy sings sitting on my room. She's singing about bonding with somebody at the end of the day. So I know spiritual people got to make their money. Okay? Spiritual people got to make their money. And bonding is something that a spiritual person cannot help you with. I'm not going to be in your bedroom coaching you, saying hit it. I'm not going to be like, hit it with the left, hit it with the right, spin around in it. No, you gotta handle that on your own, my boy. But see how we connect at the root chakra though? We connect at the root chakra through sovereignty, dignity, grounding, and see, since I'm a spiritual person and I gotta make your money, I'll talk to you by yourself all day. But at the end of the day, if we want to be right and exact, we're going to need you and your partner to come to the table together and get this sovereignty and dignity together and bond together. This is righteous activity through understanding the sacral chakra. And if you can't get with it, you won't be able to see. There is no in between. There is no left and right at the same time. I cannot bond to you through sex. I can bond to you so much easier through communication, because in the Bible, it doesn't say sex is the word and sex is God. It didn't say that. It was very simple. And you can agree or disagree. I just am the type to agree that the word is God. How you choose your words is paramount. How you use your words in your relationships is transformative. It's nothing more spiritual than saying, hey, let's start this business. Hey, let's start this thing that wasn't going to ever be created until me and you came together as sovereign spiritual beings. And let's build upon this daily, this mutual goal that's larger than us. That is how we bond. Now, what can actually fuck that up? What generally does fuck it up? Sex. So when you look at Mars, when you look at the sacral chakra, you can't think of it as doing it by yourself. And you don't have to have sex with people. You have to communicate with people in the midst of sexual energy that is within you, and alchemize it and transmute it into allowing you to be the fuel that allows your rocket to propel to your higher self. So you can perceive the demonic and the angelic realms that exist within this realm. So it's two things that happen. You see your light. Once you see your light, you then realize that you are a fire. When you do not see your light, your fire doesn't burn as bright. And when your fire does not burn as bright, the demonic entities can latch onto your aura. The moment that you activate and become aware, i.e. conscious, you become a light, a fire with a fly attached to it. So the parasites and the demonic entities that ruled your life for years and years and years and years evaporate just like that through activation and awareness. So don't tell me what you can't do in the realms of building a relationship through communication, because you haven't done it through sovereignty, nor have you done it through dignity. You may have done it in fear. You may have done it in low vibration. You may have done it in demonic possession, but you have never done it in sovereignty and dignity. I guarantee you, I'll give you everything that I have, that if you, in honest, in integrity, communicate sexual energy with a person who is communicating sexual energy with you, and they committed to you as you are committed to them, y'all will fucking take over the planet. I guarantee you. You doing it by yourself though? Good luck. You in the spiritual shit just to feel better for doing shit by yourself, is going to be a lot of people that will take your fucking money. Everybody will take your fucking money. Once you get a partner in your life, you ain't gonna need no more spiritual people, because you will be a spiritual being. You will be the spiritual person that say, oh shit, I gotta help people because I'm activated. I'm activated not in sexual prowess. I'm activated in the ability to communicate that which is divine. I've been talking for a while. Ones, if this is making sense. Twos, if I am losing you. According to Jewish Kabbalah, Yesod is the foundation upon which God has built the world. So, what is the foundation upon which God has built the world? It is through the Word. Why? Because in the beginning was the Word. I feel like I'm going crazy by saying that. Like, is that a real thing, or am I just saying that? John 1, verse 1 is the first verse in the opening chapter of the Gospel of John in the New Testament of the Christian Bible. The traditional and majority translation of this verse reads, in the beginning was the Word. So, all right, in the beginning was the Word, right? So now, because I'm feeling like I'm not going crazy, it just be acting like people don't be understanding what the fuck I be saying. So it's like, is it something wrong? I know it's my delivery or whatever the hell, but goddamn now, beginning is a foundation, right? If in the beginning was the Word, what in the beginning, and I don't know how to spell beginning for nothing. Beginning in the foundation, right? I'm trying to figure it out, right? The foundation is the beginning of something, right? Foundation, the action of founding. I found what? Oh, okay, this is what I'm looking for. To lay a bottom or a foundation. In the beginning was the Word. So in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So it says nothing about pulling your dangalang out. It say nothing about pulling your pennies off. You've been hoodwinked this whole entire time. You've been hoodwinked. You've been tricked into relating to the opposite sex or the same sex. Who gives a fuck? If you are, it don't matter. However you relate to people, you're going to have to relate. If your relationship is of the spiritual ilk, then your relationship is that of conversation. It couldn't be the energy of an orgy. It just couldn't be. The very nature of it. However, can we do that? Like, is that a hard thing to do? Why is it a hard thing to do? Because, sex is very much a powerful thing. As much as y'all talk that shit, you will let a dude go in a heartbeat and hit up Pornhub or X-Hamster or your favorite porn site. Some of y'all even be having OnlyFans accounts. Ladies, what's up with that? What you doing on OnlyFans with me? Hey, Charmaine, you watching this video too? That's how we be in the metaverse. in our OnlyFans hut. Hey, Charmaine, what you doing here? Oh, you like her too? Okay. Sounds a little double-sidedness, like you're serving two masters, but hey, I'm not here to judge. I'm here to tip. It also serves as a transmitter between the Sephiroth above and the reality below. The light of the upper Sephiroth gather in Yesod and are channeled to Malkuth below. In this manner, Yesod is associated with the sexual organs. So do y'all see how Yesod is associated with the sexual organs? What else is associated with the sexual organs, ladies and gentlemen? If you're new here, Mars is associated with the sexual organs. Okay? And it's so important. The foundation of your spiritual life is in the sexual organs. You need a whole you need to talk. We need to talk. These are things your mom never told you, your daddy never told you. The masculine Yesod collects the vital forces of the Sephiroth above and transmits these creative and vital energies into the feminine Malkuth below. Let me translate that for you, because it might sound a little bit confusing. The masculine Yesod is not the male or the female Yesod. It is the masculine Yesod, meaning that the Martian energy that exists within your sacral area is the vital forces of everything of the divine. You transmit these, men and women transmit these creative and vital energies into the feminine Malkuth below. Not the female Malkuth, not the male Malkuth. The feminine Malkuth. The feminine Malkuth is the living and breathing earth that produces the fruit and vegetables that give your black ass life. It is a living organism. If you don't do offerings daily, then you don't give a fuck about the earth. That is you. You feed yourself every day, but you don't give offerings to the earth. Because you are not consciously aware that the earth is your mama. It feeds you. It nurtures you. It gives you support when nobody don't give you support. Everybody in your family let you down. You can still walk on the earth. You can find food in nature and your family will not give you food. Earth will not judge you as harsh as your lover. But you don't even give offerings to earth, but you be giving your fucking income taxes to a deadbeat ass daddy. How do that work? When you are not activated, you don't see. And it don't matter how many YouTube videos you watch, how much you in the comment section, how much you in the Patreon, how much you get in the reading. When you engage in the fucking earth that you live in and you recognize these energies for what they are and you speak life to demonic forces and you raise your vibration, now you're doing the work. You don't no video necessary. You attracting and magnetizing the person that you actually love and not magnetizing the person that you hate because you hate yourself. Or you hate yourself, they hate themselves, and y'all not doing the alchemy to love yourselves. Y'all just continuously passing forth demonic entities through sexual intercourse. Yesod channels, Malkuth receives. But see, when we cannot communicate effectively between man, woman, woman, man, 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 woman, woman, this is what Malkuth receives. Do y'all get it? 1, if you get it. 2, if you don't get it. Because we need to get some understanding here. Because a lot of times we can communicate to each other and yeah, I really want to have sex, but I'm not communicating that. I'm just saying bullshit to you. Malkuth receives that and your life presents that. I'll give you an example. It was this girl who was married. I was married too. The difference between me is that my wife knew, hey, I'm going to kick it with such and such. We about to go to the bar, have some drinks. This was a few years ago. Me and my wife, our relationship is solid. So the things that don't try this shit at home, fellas, right? Hood went on a date. He married. Me and my wife communicate. If me and my wife don't do shit, we communicate. Okay? So, long story short, I would tell my wife, hey, me and such, we hanging out, about to go have some drinks, whatever, boom, boom. All right, see you when you get home. Boom, boom, right? Shorty wasn't doing the same thing. So every time she see me, she have a story. Goddamn mountain lion came out the fucking woodworks, started attacking my car. I couldn't believe it. That didn't happen. But what did happen, her ass damn swerved and drove into a fucking ditch coming to see my ass. I just shook my head. I said, is there anything you need me to do? She said, no, it's nothing that you can do. I said, I know, I just was asking to be courteous. I knew there's nothing I can do. The energy that she was sending out to the universe, she was receiving that. And I couldn't take part in that because I like you. I like my wife. I don't mind being honest and communicate. And we wasn't doing nothing. We was talking. Right? But see, she can't tell her husband I'm talking to somebody because, he's possessive and she's possessed. See how that worked? Your side channels, Malkuth receives. In turn, it is through Malkuth that the earth is able to interact with the divinity. In the beginning, the word was God. Another way for explaining divinity. Now, I can get on here on this YouTube channel and talk about how divine I am. Matter of fact, I would have never gotten on here and said shit until I was able to, like, my wife was my activation. And I'm sorry that I keep beating a dead horse, but shit. Miracles happen when you really live a spiritual life. None of this was actually planned and written out to a point that when it comes down to it, me and my wife knew each other before we even existed. Out of 7 billion people on the planet, there was no doubt that we were going to find each other. And when we found each other, we never let each other go. Imagine a world where there's billions and billions of people and you have to find someone. You have to find someone, this one person. I'm one person. I have to literally find my wife. She has to find me. We need each other. And you know it because when we in other relationships, they don't sit right. They don't feel right. The moment we meet each other, it's like, oh, this shit feel right and fit right. It's everything I've been searching for and looking for. Oh, we locked in. That's spiritual. But then you don't say, oh, let's fuck all the time. That you don't do that. You talk, you grow, you expose. And when you love somebody, when you commit to somebody and you hold space, you're holding that space and you holding that upper vibratory frequency. So all of the demonic energy that have been accumulated is released. So a large part of your beginning of your relationship is purification. Purification through communication. As you communicate, the demons get bored. Y'all should be fucking, right? They all about active destruction, right? So they stimulating your adrenaline, they're stimulating your testosterone and your estrogen, and they're fucking putting battery packs in your back, and all the while no work is being done. Yesod plays the role of collecting and balancing the different and opposing energies of Had and Nesech, and also from Tiferet above, storing and distributed throughout the world. It is likened to the engine room of creation. So when you think of an engine room, you don't see the engine. You never see a car and say, boy, that engine, unless you're a fucking car enthusiastic. For the most part, you see the body, the frame, the tires, the wheel. You never see nothing. And all of that shit that you see on the car is completely inconsequential for the fact of it moving. So when you relate to people and you see their body and you see their dangalang and you see their titties and their vagina and their booty, it has nothing to do with their engine room. It has nothing to do with their foundation. And I'm not saying that the person can't have a bodacious body. Nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, that is not the engine. That is not going to create. Another connection that we find, the cherubim of angelic choirs connected to Yesod, which is headed by the Archangel Gabriel. So right after the Saturn, I moved into the Mars and Sacral, and I had a dream about Archangel Gabriel, and he has been kind of helping me with a host of other, like, it's a lot of spiritual energy around my ass. I'm not gonna hold you. A lot of channeling is happening, and I'm just kind of like, and I'm so grateful. But y'all need to understand, it's a spiritual world that exists that you do not see. You need to get over the sex. You need to go beyond the sex. It's very thought-provoking. It's very challenging. You have to sit with yourself. You have to be mad and angry, right? Imagine sitting with a beautiful man and a beautiful woman, and everything that you could experience with this person is perfect, and you're not crossing that threshold. You store the energy. You store the energy. You store the experiences, and you feed it in your engine room, your sexual organs, and you change your life. You waste this energy when you have sex. Nobody will tell you this. Yet and still, you will have sex, waste your energy, be depressed, have spiritual energies and entities attached to you, and people will just keep taking your money. You need to raise your energy and understand the demonic realm. Okay? Yesod is ruled by the archdemon. See, we have archangels and we have archdemons. The archdemon that rules Yesod is Lilith. Now, there's correspondences in reference to Lilith. There's Lilith, there's Pambajira, and there's also Brigitte. Uh-oh. Doing a little checking. I was talking for a while. I'll be having to do a little maintenance. But, so Lilith, let me do another double check. All right. So we have Lilith, we have Pambajira, and we have Brigitte. We also have Shakti, Parvati, for a combination of both. Lakshmi. These are energies that exist within women. And the components of these, so you have Brigitte bearing Samdi, you have Lilith and Samael, you have Pambajira, and you have Ishu, right? These are demonic realms and entities that exist within your sacral chakra. These are sexual entities. At the first level, they are purely sexual and purely passionate. If you can hold space and hold conversation, you open up a gateway to spirituality. Sex is the test. A goddess will come into your life. A god will come into your life. And your ability to have sex with them is your ability to fail the test. Your ability to not have sex with them and communicate with them is your ability to pass the test. If you're not cognizant of spiritual entities, you think that everybody exists for your pleasure, but now you're in your ego. So outside of your ego, let's look at demons. Demons are a superior power for good or for evil. Demons are a god or a devil. Only in the New Testament, which is a later rendition of an old thought form, does a demon refer to an evil spirit. That is a ruling consciousness that dethrones the normal reason. So a demon can be used for good or it can be used for evil. When it is used for good, it is through communication and conversation. When it is used for evil, it becomes a ruling consciousness that dethrones the normal reason. The meta of demons or evil spirits are conditions of mind. Mars is the planet of action. Action represents anything mental that we put into motion. Now let's talk about demons and how they invade your mind through conditions of mind or states of consciousness that have been developed because the creative power of man has been used in an unwise or ignorant way. Now, the wise and knowledge-based way is to understand that the mind that you possess is the mind of God, and it needs to be communicated thoroughly, consistently to be fully understood. But that same power can be used unwise or ignorantly through sex. No other way. If in a thought or in a word, you are using your creative power in an ignorant way, you are bringing forth an ego or a personality of like character. Listen to that. If in a thought or in a word, if you are thinking or saying, which is your creative power, your godlike power, because anything that you utter is a powerful thought. You have no neutral thoughts. Every thought is a powerhouse. You can create or you can destroy in reference to the words that you choose. So if in a thought or a word, it can be anything. I'm ugly. I'm fat. Nobody likes me. That is a powerful thought and it has results. And no matter if I love you or hate you or don't like you, whatever I think doesn't matter. What you think matters. So using your creative power in a positive way is not ignorant. It is deeply spiritual and should be shared fervently, righteously, daily, vigorously. When we don't, we are using our creative power in an ignorant way and bringing forth an ego or a personality of like character. So you become your ignorance. So if you possess an animal mind, you never activate your animal mind to a divine mind, by nature, you become the animal that you are not. And you can see a demon in a person that you know is not a bad person, but when they are possessed through gang culture and music, they become a person that they are not. You are not Gangster Tone from Lil Block. You Lil Rodney, you my little cousin, right? You is not Gangster Tone. But when Gangster Tone demonic entity possess Lil Rodney is gone. Gangster Tone brought forth an ego and personality of like character because within a thought or a word, you use that creative power to become Gangster Tone from Third Block. And in reality, you're not that at all. It's many black men and women who feel that they are gangster, hood, on set, whatever the fuck, right? That is a demonic possession that they're bringing forth as an ego or a personality of like character. Because now that demonic personality is a killer. They're not a killer, but the demonic entity that they possess sure don't mind killing people. And guess what happens? Killing. Why? Because if in thought or in word, you use your creative power in an ignorant way, you bring forth that same motherfucking ego or personality of like character. So you could use the creative power for greatness, but that doesn't reference ignorance, nor does it reference being unwise. The mind builds states of consciousness that becomes established in the brain and body. This is why communication is so important. Because the problem is we don't know what the fuck to do to make this shit better. Right? We see motherfuckers are out of control. Out of it. Done for. Because we see the demonic possession within the brains and bodies of our youth. And there's nothing that can be said or done about it. Outside of communication, and there is not no communication that can be had because the demonic entities have fused within these youths in their brain, in their body. Both good and evil are found in the unregenerate man, but in the new birth, evil in all its works must be cast out. What made Jesus so popular if he ever existed? If you studied the mythology, like what was it about him? Well, what makes a priest, and like back in the days was that they would do exorcisms. Exorcisms is real. Young women would be possessed by demonic spirits. Those demonic spirits did not fucking die because the Vatican was created or the Jesus mythology is told. The reason why people pray, the reason why people need spirituality, because when a demonic entity possesses you, there's nothing that you can actually do within the realms of not raising your vibration. And if you don't know how to specifically raise your vibration, then those entities feed and they live and they breed and they grow and they fuck up your whole entire life. So they must be cast out. And this is why Jesus was the most famous person ever. Because this motherfucker would come in and he would cast your demons out. And back then, they knew for a fact, hey man, I'm possessed. I got leprosy. These demons is whooping my ass. Nothing I can do about it. I'm going to pray about it. So when you like being a spiritual person, people don't come to you to tell you how great their lives are. People generally come to you, not all the time, but generally come to you when they're under some form of possession and they want that spirit cast out. Now, talking to me is not going to help you, or talking to any spiritualist is not going to help you if you feed that spirit through not recognizing that you are under possession. So if you don't notice the demonic spirit, then that's great, because the demonic spirit can live rent-free in your aura. The moment you activate your root chakra, the moment you perceive, the moment you start casting out demons left and right. So when they say Christ is within you, it's something specific that you do. It's a specific function that you acquire. You cast out demons. And you simply cast out demons by being a space holder, a high vibrational space holder for your family and friends who are low vibration. And the low vibration allows the demons to attach to them through sexual ignorance. The work of every overcomer is to cast out of himself the demons of sin and evil through the power and dominion of his indwelling Christ. Period. So we're going to break down these three understandings. So there's a mythology associated with Samael and Lilith. There's a mythology associated with Pambajira and Ishu. There's a mythology associated with Shiva and Shakti. And all three of these are talking about the three of the same things. And this is not something spiritual that you can do within yourself. This is something that requires a masculine energy and a feminine energy. These are symbols, are showing you what it's about. So, Mars in the Sacral Chakra. Activating your Sacral Chakra feels like and experiences like this. You take your hot and dry, cold and wet, rash, decision-making ass energy and sit your fucking ass down and you start having real ass conversations. So what does a healthy sacral chakra look like? A balance and healthy second chakra blends male and female energies to create material abundance and manifestation through co-creation and relationships with the natural forces which serve the intentions of the divine source. This is why we were brought in earth together, so we could blend our energy and create material abundance. But if any of these two people are not in alignment, you will not create material abundance. You will not manifest. You will create toxicity. You will create demonic energies. You will not co-create. You will do everything by your fucking self, and you will be fronting like you in a relationship and you just doing it for shits and giggles. You and your partner is not in nature communicating with the land. Y'all in fucking restaurants taking picture for IG. Y'all doing whack ass YouTube and IG videos. Y'all not fucking connecting through divine source. Y'all ain't seen nature in 5 fucking years. Talking about y'all in love. No, y'all argue every fucking day because y'all don't understand that y'all supposed to blend and harmonize y'all energies. And y'all can't do this shit alone. I know y'all like to think that y'all can do everything alone, but you haven't activated your sacral chakra until you stood and held space with the male and female energies. Just because spiritual people don't tell you this, don't mean that what I'm saying is wrong. I'm guaranteeing you that if you stand in front of your male or female divine counterpart and you communicate, you will create material abundance. I guarantee you. There's nothing that can stop you. The only thing that can stop you is that if y'all don't connect to y'all sovereignty and y'all don't connect to y'all dignity. One of y'all doing it, the other one ain't, or nobody's doing it. Then y'all fighting and y'all toxic because y'all relationship is a window to divinity. But you don't get to that window of divinity because y'all too busy having sex. And having sex is not sexual energy. It's wasting your sexual energy. Like if I have a cup of water and every time I get the cup of water, I pour the water out and then I act like I got a cup of water. No, you don't. I could have had a cup of water if I harnessed it and if I saved it, but I couldn't help but to pour it out. And then you ask a motherfucker, why did you pour the water out? And the motherfucker said, well, it feel good. I find pleasure when I pour it out. Well, it's still stupid though. It's still stupid no matter if you find pleasure out of it. It's some dumbass shit to do to waste your sexual energy with the fucking divine masculine. When you could have communicated and took over the whole entire planet. You could have manifested material abundance, and it pains me when couples struggle financially. How do that work? At one level, you got 2 incomes. At another level, you got the masculine and female energies that can blend and create something much larger than both of your egos combined. But y'all let your egos block y'all from true divinity. So understanding your deeper drives to be something in reference to the divine, you're not going to find it through sexual bliss. You'll find it through finding a safe space that you could be your authentic self with, that you can then be a safe space for your opponent or opposite to be a safe space that can open up to you. That way you open the door to divinity and things can start to happen for you. Everything outside of that is you just probably working a job, getting a direct deposit, paying your rent, and just feeling like you need to say something or do something. But at the end of the day, you ain't hitting on shit because I don't see your divine masculine partner. I do hear you talking a whole bunch of shit on YouTube all the time, but where's your nigga? Where's your boyfriend? Where's your husband? I'm not taking you serious. Because you can't even communicate to a divine masculine. How the fuck you want to communicate to me? I don't buy it. I see the demonic entities attached to you. If you can't hold space in an intimate setting with a divine masculine, but then you want to turn around and talk to everybody in the world, you on bullshit. Because if it's a problem between me and my wife, fuck y'all. I don't give a fuck about y'all. I got to figure out what's happening with my wife. What type of shit? You shouldn't care about nothing more than your fucking divine masculine or your divine feminine, period. Because that's God. But y'all be too busy getting fucked to ever even get a glimpse of whatever the fuck I'm talking about. Because as spiritual as you are, you still can't get past the sexual desire part at the end of the day. So, sorry, but not sorry. So when your sacral chakra is balanced, This power center, when balanced, amps up your ability to give and receive in equal measure without difficulty. How do you do that without communicating? You don't. Because if you don't communicate, that motherfucker is taking advantage of your good spiritual having ass. Believe me. Guaranteed, if you're in a relationship where communication isn't the foremost thing within your relationship agenda, then that other person in the relationship does not want to talk. Because they're too busy draining your ass of the energy like they parasitic entity that's attached to them at the sacral chakra is telling them to do. They're telling them, drain that motherfucker right there. He's a fucking mark. She's a fucking mark. She's generous, stupid, unwise, and sexually ignorant. We're going to have sex with her and steal all of her energy till she's fucking skinny and drained. And after we steal all of her energy, we're going to find another girl and do the same thing. Yes, ladies, these men are possessed by demons. They were sad and lonely and prayed to demons for pussy. And the demon said, I can give you pussy. Just sign this little contract here. But hey, you got to drain them of their energy and give them the meat. But I'll give you some pussy though. Hey man, start a Tinder profile. Hey man, start a Plenty of Fish profile. This is what the demon telling them. Hey man, start working out, man. Hey man, take a picture with some gray sweat. Show your dick off. Hey man, talk to that girl. She's a psychic. Let's drain her fucking ass. Don't talk too much though. I don't like when you talk. Talk as less as possible. Whenever she start talking about some real stuff, pull your dick out. Get her sexually involved with you without a conversation. And if you can get her sexually involved with you without a conversation, that means that she's not spiritually aware. And if she's not spiritually aware, I can drain her fucking life force energy. It worked. Perfect. Demons are for evil and they're for good. Let's be clear. How you having a sexual relationship with a person that you can't talk to and not be able to suss it out as a fucking demon for evil because you haven't activated your root chakra? And if you're wondering why things ain't working out the way that you want it to be, you're not speaking the way that you know you should speak, you're not manifesting the way that you need to manifest, you need to release the demonic entity that is attached to you at the foundation of your physical, emotional experience, your emotional base. From 1 to 7, you was happy every fucking day. You just woke up happy for no fucking reason. Just little, young, and happy. Somebody took that away from you or blocked you from it. And generally they blocked it from it or took it away from you through a sexual act. And they stole your fucking soul and put you at a lower vibratory frequency that allowed demonic entities to feed off of you. So anxiety is your middle name. Stress is your middle name. Fear is your middle name. But when you activate your root chakra, activate your sacral chakra, you begin to feel this nirvana and bliss at a hormonal level. Through communications, through the security that your relationship provides you with, through open and honest communication, or through the stress and anxiety of a motherfucker lying to you every fucking day. You said you would be here at 3, it's 6, and you acting like that energy is worthwhile of your fucking aura. Like, certain shit is draining you, and if you don't get rid of it, it's only going to drain you some more. You need to remove from energy that drains you and find an energy that pours into you through communication, which will be a balanced sacral chakra. If nobody's pouring into you, then how the fuck is your sacral chakra balanced? You just hoping and wishing, and you're not a safe space, and you're not communicating. You want to be spiritual all alone in your room, and it does not work. It does not work. You are relaxed, calm, and at ease with your life. You feel robust energy, physical power, stamina, and aliveness. You shine like a star. You're able and if I wasn't able to go through this process, I wouldn't be able to communicate it in the way that I'm communicating it. So I'm thankful for the people in my life that allow me to go through these chakras and exist in the realm of spirituality, and where if I don't have these experiences, I'm not able to communicate it. So it's like I have these experiences and I'm like, oh shit, that's exactly what I'm studying. So I'm aligning my experiences with the actual knowledge to bring you some wisdom. But you got to be able to receive. You're able to surrender to the process of sharing in your relationships, not you sitting by yourself. Your relationships with other human beings are harmonious and deeply connected. When you go beyond the level of sex with the person that you are sexually attracted to, you go instantly into the realms of ESP. You go instantly into the realms of telecommunication. You go instantly into the realms of psychic communication, where you can communicate to your divine counterpart without even speaking, and it not even cap. You will think, hey, I need some Lay's potato chips, and your divine partner will come with Lay's potato chips, and you be like, damn, I was just thinking that. And your divine partner say, yeah, I was thinking that you was thinking that, and I bought them because I felt you thinking about it. This is what we're talking about. So once you begin to communicate and build on that level, it's like, what building do you see? I see a big building that's pink and blue, and it got stars over here, and yeah, I see that shit too. Let's do it together, because we both see the same thing at a psychic level, and we're not going to ruin it through our fucking wasteful ass. It's like, why would we pour out the cup? Why would we pour the water out the cup? Don't make no sense. Why would we even have sex when we could communicate for the rest of our lives? See, if you can't get beyond it, you're like, well, what the fuck you mean you don't have to have sex? I gotta have sex. See, that right there, you gotta have sex, is the same reason that you're not able to communicate with ESP, with your divine partner. Because you're not harmonious, you're not deeply connected. You're just going with the lower animalistic energy. A fucking rat can have sex. A fucking roach can have sex. A fucking pig can have sex. That don't make you special. What makes you special is that you have psychic powers and the ability to create at a large scale level. You can create a fucking skyscraper, but you can't create a skyscraper by yourself. Openness of your heart, mind, and body ensures the enjoyment of your life experiences. Finishing up. You express sensuality and sexuality in a fluid and unified way, mainly through communication, understanding. A balanced and healthy second chakra, or sacral chakra, ensures a strong immune system and inherent sense of physical power, health, and well-being, including, not excluding, financial health. Lord, oh Lord, when you begin to communicate on this level, money just be coming to you. It's addicted to you. Like you become fucking heroin and money becomes a junkie. It gotta have you every fucking day. When you become a magnet, when you become the actual awareness of who you are, money don't stop coming to you. In all types of ways, different ideas, different way, like multiple fucking streams of income. And it's very simple. Having communications with your divine masculine or feminine counterpart. Simple, but hard as fuck, because y'all too judgmental and y'all been fucking or watching porn since you was little kids, and this is what you value in the forms of relationship. You more interested in how that thing is swinging than what's in between that man's mind. So in the facts of you being normal, like everybody, you will have an imbalance. So what does an imbalance look like? An imbalance you may experience an inability to be mutual with others and give or receive. Off top, your relationships is on bullshit, right? You find it difficult to surrender to what is and struggle with universal laws. You find it difficult to surrender to what is and struggle with universal laws. So how does this look like? You can be in front of your divine masculine or your divine masculine or divine feminine partner, right? And you don't see them. You don't want them. You don't desire them. Because an inactive sacral chakra is also a fantasy world that is more prevalent and more powerful than the world of what is. So sometimes you might say, this can happen, that can happen, if you deal with the present reality. But the present reality requires development. And if you can't see past the development, then your initial response to the present reality is, I don't like this, right? So you might meet a man that isn't drop dead gorgeous, right? And isn't the best thing in the world, but he's willing to communicate with you. And if you don't realize the value in a man that is willing to communicate with you in a world of men that want to pull their dicks out, then you will fucking miss that opportunity and you will struggle. Because you always get opportunities with individuals, but it's more of a fantasy of what a man should be, that you can't begin to accept what is. So in the realms and relating to people in this day and age, it is what it is. I'm in your life for a reason. Will you accept that, or do you want, or you want somebody else? There is no struggle in the realms of relationships only when you have an imbalanced sacral chakra. You want to get a reading for a man. You want to get understand, like you just want to get so much background and so much buildup. And in fact, all you have to do is accept and communicate. The mind is all. So within that is, if I do this, he'll leave me. If this happened, he'll go. And I don't want to be alone. Within your fear is the problem, because the universal laws don't skip you. It's a difference between a person that says, I can't wait to find a man to pour into, to communicate with, to love and to hold and to harness, than a person who says, I can't stand these niggas. These niggas ain't shit. It's a big difference between both people. And the one, and you can say, well, she gonna get used and abused, right? And at the same time, this is all of your energy. So you may be locked into the purely physical expression of your sensuality and sexuality. So what I'm saying is, if you do not activate your sacral chakra through communication with your divine counterpart, then you will be locked into a purely physical expression of sensuality and sexuality. And for most people, that's just what it is. So when you start to talk about the possession and the angels and the demons and all of the shit that's going on, you won't be able to see it because you're locked into the wall and you don't see what's on the other side of the wall. You may try to control situations and emotions and relationships, which may lead to repression of your needs and healthy self-expression of your truth. What does this sound like? It doesn't sound like anything besides communication. See, when you don't communicate, you try to control situations. Just had to check something. When you don't communicate, you try to control things. You try to manipulate things. You try to rigmarole things. You walk around with arrogance. And at the same time, you just more of repressed. And because you're repressed, it makes you even more hornier. It makes you even more destructive. It makes you even more isolationist. It makes you even more lonelier. And all the while, all you ever had to do was express who you are at an authentic level and strive for creating and finding and being in safe spaces. And then you said, well, there are no safe spaces. But then I said, all is mental. So you're creating that. I've created so much from my mind, and I've manifested so much from what I've seen in my mind to be actually existed in the world that I don't really take nobody's excuses for not manifesting love and manifesting high vibratory energies within their lives. And I've been on this platform for years, and the beginning of my platform, it was me and my wife. Today, I'm with my wife. So Mars is the god of war, aggression, masculine. When we do not balance our sacral chakra, this is where your gun holster sits. You will either decide to take aim and fire or put your guns away for peaceful coexistence. So I'm ending this with the question: are you trying to fight, or are you trying to create and co-create? And it starts now. It starts today. Do you want to see the spiritual realms? Do you understand the spiritual realms within yourself and outside of yourself? It starts with you. You don't need money. You just need to put your fucking gun down. You need to stop repressing. You need to find somebody who is willing to grow with you through communication. You can't be around people that repress their actual truths and you acting like you growing with that person. You're not growing with that person, and you wasting your time, and that's where your angst is coming from. You cannot be laying in the same bed of somebody that you can't be truthful with, and at a spiritual level, you are unbalanced. And as many readings as you get, you will solve everything if you just simply choose a partner for which you can communicate with and develop the skills necessary to communicate your damn self. Because it's going to be hard to communicate with somebody and you're not communicating, which could be a block for a lot of people. Some people don't understand the power of being authentic. And it's like when you deal with people who have experienced trauma and they suffer from anxiety, what you generally see is that when they let their guards down, it's so beautiful. It's so magical. It's so spiritual. And this is why it's important to be these safe spaces for our collective, for our brothers and sisters, because as we become these safe spaces of high vibrational energy, it shows other people that it's okay to be that. And then once you have people within your circle unlock their psychic gifts, then you begin to work together and you create this new world. So this is the beginning of the new world when we begin to communicate in earnest, in integrity. We stop watching porn as a collective because we understand that everything we do, we must do it, right? Unless we just going to be watching porn together, if that's our shit, if this is a collective, we just watch porn together, then we can watch porn alone. But if we get together and we righteous and we talk about building and the kingdom and the queendom and the universe and all of that, and we never watching porn, then we can't leave the collective and start doing shit in private that we wouldn't do in the group, because that is not authentic expression. That is repression. And this is why in our groups and in our collectives, they fucked up, because there's more repression in our groups and collectives than it is authentic sharing. Right? So, you know, no sex orgies, no sex cults, just Black men and women having real conversations in reference to our authentic spiritual truth, and learning to be that all of the time is how you actually balance your sacral chakra. So I know it's late and I really needed to get this out. I hope this, you know, you took notes and you were able to find your sacral chakra within this conversation, and you're able to come up with a game plan on what you need to do. You need to find somebody. That is your challenge, right? Spiritual people are not going to tell you this. They're going to keep you isolated and alone, and, you know, join they fucking shit that they got going on and spend your money up on shit. And listen, I don't care how much money you got. You need a partner that you can be open with. You need to become a safe space unto yourself and unto others. The person in your life is going to keep you honest. If you by yourself, there's nobody to keep you honest. So learning to stand in this energy with other people, right? And it's not about letting a woman run your life. This is not about letting a man run your life. This is about becoming activated and becoming whole by unifying the masculine and feminine energies that exist within the universe and coming up with some spiritual shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a powerful thing, man. And I can only speak about it because I experience this every day. So I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for my children, which are the source for me having this conversation. Because before my wife and my children, I was just a nigga, man. I wasn't shit. I remember, not just like, I swear to God to y'all, man, I wasn't worth a damn thing, man. My wife came into my life and actually saved my life. So, and there was nothing that I could do to find her. But once I did find her, I realized early that I was never letting her go, because this was somebody that was a safe space that I could grow with and that I can build with. And, you know, 6 years later, we're consistently building and growing and conquering boundaries and barriers within ourselves that we've had for years. And through the love and the conversation and communication and the ability to be my authentic self within my relationship has saved my life. To not be judged by my partner is clutch, man. I wish that y'all have a wife in y'all life that does not judge you, but you have a wife that wants to see you win, right? Some women want a winner and they don't want to win. So you lucky if you find a woman that wants to win. So with all that being said, this has been my presentation. This has been my spiritual lecture on Mars and the Sacral Chakra in reference to demonic possession and how you actually get out of this demonic possession. You need a partner to hold space with you to cast out the demons. And there is no other way. I'm sorry. We are tasked with the mission. And that mission is to get out of that fucking box that you put yourself in and begin to share. I'm talking to my sisters. You in a man's life is the greatest thing that could ever happen to them. Right? But when you serve Lilith, right? When Lilith is the queen of your heart, when Lilith is the queen of your home, it is her necessity, it's her job to keep you alone. And if you tired of being alone, this is some real shit that y'all go through. Y'all be alone. And y'all be alone under demonic possession. So it's time for you to cast the demons, unless you like being alone. It's some people that love Lilith. Lilith has devotees. But understand, when you a devotee of Lilith, when you're a devotee of Baron Samedi, these are real, actual people that you cannot a human being cannot share space with these demonic entities, because a human being is a high vibrational entity. So it's like fire and a fly. The fire is going to engulf the fly. So if you are ready to activate yourself and come that divine feminine fire energy, you have to release the demonic entities that attach to you through alcohol use, through opioid use, and through watching porn. And also eating meat, eating chicken, eating beef, eating pork. It's keeping you at a low vibration. And the low vibration allows the demonic entities to stay attached to your aura. And it may feel good and it may feel pleasurable, but you can be the pure fire goddess that you were sent here to be and pour into a divine masculine that's willing to pour into you. So, hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope you gained something from it. As I trudge along this book making process and bring you all along the journey. That's how I write my books. I don't write my books just in a room like Brandy. I do video presentations, write notes, and have a whole bunch of shit to reference as I create this fucking masterpiece. So look out for the pre-orders very soon. Title very soon. Cover very soon. Because I finally got this goddamn lecture out the way, man. Spirit be on my ass about these lectures. And when it's time for me to do a lecture, can't do shit else. So got some readings and shit I need to do. Got some whole other shit that I need to do. I'm so excited. Get to the other shit that I need to do. So let me get to what I need to get to. Y'all get to what y'all need to get to. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side, man. Peace.